This is a video where I drop some untasteful curse words in it. You guys know from time to time when I get emotional and I get lit up on something, it happens. I would advise not, unless you have mature children that know it's just a figure of speech. Don't put them in front of this. And if you're going to watch this video, watch it when you're not in front of them or like around them. Thank you. If love was easy, everyone would be in love. And love ain't easy. And it's not always beautiful. Remember that. Let's get into this morning's video. I told you guys a story recently. Not recently, in the last year. It came up, and then I think it came up a few years ago as well. That story was about what happened to me when I was working at the Ford dealer, and I gave them a 1-month notice, and they decided 2 weeks in to fire me and not pay. Just told me to get out. And after that experience, that was an eye-opener to me on why I would never give a freaking 2-week notice ever again in my life for somebody to just drop you like a bad habit like that. My father was in the hospital. My mom didn't know if he was going to make it or not. She seemed very, very concerned. She wanted me home. I had to sneeze. I had already made up my mind that I was going to go home once I started hearing my mom's voice and how difficult things were for her and how she was so uncertain about things. I wanted to be there for my family, so I gave a month notice to find another tech to replace me so they wouldn't go without, and I was going to go home and be with my family. Well, that story went viral because of how the company dropped me like a bad habit, didn't want nothing to do with me after that, and I said from that point forward, I will never give a damn 2-week notice again. These companies don't care about me. They don't care about my life and what's going on. I damn sure ain't going to care about them if that's the case. Unless, it's a mom and pop shop or a smaller company, something like that. And, I will consider based on my relationship with them, whether or not I give a 2-week notice. That's what will determine it moving forward. But recently, you guys know, my fiance lost her job. Panera Bread corporate, she was one of the regional sales manager, sales ladies, whatever, that she had been with the company over 10 years. She started out in a store, made it up to manager, and then they moved her to the corporate level. She's been working at for 10 years. She's been busting her ass for this company for 10 years. Always trying to go above and beyond, always trying to do her job. But recently, and there's drama in between. There was definitely drama in between during this whole fiasco about, these people taking sales from over here when it's supposed to be hers. Managers are not standing up for her in her territory and where she was supposed to be responsible for, but yet they were letting another manager in the area creep over into that manager to pull sales from her area, which was taken away from her paycheck and her performance. And there's a performance-based thing where you got to do so much work, you got to sell so much stuff, and they monitor that. And if you don't, they put you on some type of probationary period, and they try to help you move to those numbers. She was always good at what she did. And then they started going to this bullshit, phone recorded, all this, when a lot of the people that were talking to her didn't want that. And a lot of the employees working there didn't want their privacy, their communication with these other customers and stuff like that being impeded on all the time, micromanaged. It was something that none of the employees really liked. Would you like if somebody was listening to every single thing that you said on the phone? You couldn't just talk freely because you knew you were always being recorded? Some people have problems with that. It's not that they're trying to hide anything, or it's not that they're trying to lie about anything. They just don't like that stuff. But they started doing that. Anyway. Panera Bread went from a privately owned internal company that was doing very well for themselves to a public owned. And when they went public, they wanted to show that they had more value in the company than what they did. So what they decided to do was cut 17% of the corporate staff. Some of the top performing people were part of that. Not the brightest choice in the world by Panera Bread, but they had to show more value in their company than what they had, so they did what they did. It's a common tactic. But drop these people like a bad habit, especially after somebody's been working for you for 10 years, and then say, hey, well, we're going to give you pay for the next couple months. We'll give you 3 months pay. No bonuses, no nothing, so your paycheck looks super freaking small, like you're working a damn minimum wage job. All your stuff that you'd normally work to get to those numbers that made you happy as a provider for the family, gone. Bonuses gone. Eventually the health care not being paid for anymore because you're not working for the company. So in order for you to pick it up, I got to pay $1,100 a month for their health care now because she don't have a job. So that's $1,100 out of my pocket every month for those two, my little one and her, to have insurance because she don't have a job. So it's done a number on me. Every month is going to be $1,130 for the rest of my life until we get married, and then I can get on the plan, and then it will only last for a small portion of the year before I think it goes out. Like, I think you get up to a year on the Cobra plan, and then it's done. Or whatever. You know, it's not that big a deal when it comes to the time-wise, but it's the fact that she got put out of work. When she got put out of work, she stopped making money to help provide for the family. She's still paying her portion of, like, the bills and stuff that she pays, but she's had to cut back on a lot of that. It's stressed her a lot in her life. It's changed her schedule to the point where before she used to be able to focus on running her portion of being employed there, going to get our daughter from school at a certain time, dropping her off at a certain time, making sure she was taken care of. Then, because she was on a schedule, it was easier for me to get a hold of her if something was happening during the day because she always had to have her phone by in case work or something called. Well, the same with me. I was able to get a hold of her right away. Well, now she's to a point in her life where she doesn't need the phone by her all the time. She doesn't need to talk on the phone all the time. It's a lot harder for me to go get a hold of her now at times. And her mood overall has changed. She's become more depressed than like the anxiety in the beginning, and then she's finally recovered from that, and she feels better not working for somebody like that. But at the same time, I think a lot of these companies, where I'm going with this is a lot of these companies don't care, or they don't understand the amount of stress that they put families through when they make these decisions to do this type of stuff, and they don't have like a real good end goal on, or a real good plan on how to take care of those employees that have been there with them for so long. Her whole life has changed now. You know, I've noticed her, it's when she was working and she had a schedule and everything going and she was doing this every day, she was really, really, really good at staying on task, staying busy. And I know she's in survival mode, working that much and taking care of our daughter and stuff and taking care of the house. Well, now she don't have any of that no more. Now she just does some counseling whenever her clients show up, and she stays at home and takes care of our daughter. She hasn't quite figured out what she wants to do yet. But what these companies don't understand is how they affect the families of the people that are working for them, and they just drop them like a bad habit. Like they really don't care. After 10 years to come in and say, you know what, you're fired. On a Zoom call, not even a private call with the person, not even can you come into the office, can you come in, can we sit down and talk about this? On a Zoom call, fired these people. How fucking pathetic is that? Drop you like a bad habit, like you don't even matter to them. In the corporate world of things, you are just a damn number, and you are so easily replaced. Unless you're some position that's way up there and you have a lot of the secrets and answers and the way the organization is supposed to be run, and not just any average person could come in and figure that out, you're not protected. You are just a number on a piece of paper somewhere. trying to give them numbers monetary wise for selling a product. And it's pretty sad that, you know, I said this a long time ago, I'll never give a damn 2-week notice again, because I know these companies at the end of the day really don't care for you. I mean, obviously based on your relationship, but most of the big corporate companies, chain stores, restaurants and stuff where there's many of them, they don't give a shit about you. You are just a number in their book, and that's it. And when it's time for you to go, they'll easily cross it off. You don't have a chance. When it sucks. But it's caused some stress in our family. It's caused some stress in her life. It's taken some adjusting on her part. It hit her pretty hard at first, but she's okay now. She didn't have to deal with the drama at the corporate level and stuff anymore, and the bickering and stuff, and girls cutting into her territory and stuff like that, trying to steal sales from her district. It's been stressful. Everything has pretty much been on me now. And a lot of what I was able to save for before and put towards, and that's the reason why a lot of the projects have slowed down on the channel, is all that extra money and stuff that I'm making has to go towards the wedding that's coming up. It has to go towards our house. It has to go towards paying for groceries and stuff. I honestly, probably 80% of the stuff, 90% of the stuff is going through me now. You know, I pay the mortgage, I pay for the cars and stuff, I pay for the repairs, I pay for all that. She used to be able to help before. She can't help anymore. I mean, she takes care of what she can take care of. She does pay some of the bills with her counseling stuff, but that's going to run out. That's not always a guarantee. Can you imagine the stress that puts on our lives in general when companies like this just drop you like a bad habit? That's why I don't think it's worth working for big corporate companies, because they don't give a shit about you. And your time could come abruptly to an end after you've spent 10, 20 years with a company. Just, sorry, you're done. We're downsizing so we can show a higher profit, and we're going public. So my message is to Panera is I'll never go into another Panera Bread again. Fuck Panera. It's the best way that I can send a message to them is tell it, fuck Panera. I will never go into another Panera store ever again, because of the way their corporate office treats the employees and how their lack of care for them just isn't there. And then the bullshit severance that they give them after they've been there for so long and they've made so much money for these companies. Come on, miss me with the BS. I'm boycotting Panera. Every time I go past a Panera, it's like this out the window. It's just how it is. That's why I will never give a fucking 2-week notice. When I'm ready to go, I'm going to walk the hell out. Because I know when they're ready to let me go, they're going to push me the hell out. That's how it is. Y'all be blessed. Sorry for the language. I'm going to put a disclaimer in the video stating language advisory. Don't put your kids in front of it. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Love you. Be blessed.